India's story is, deeply intertwined with the glitter of diamonds. For thousands of years, this land was the world's only known source of these precious stones. From the riverbeds of the Krishna and Godavari rivers in the Golconda region, these brilliant gems emerged, captivating all who saw them. They were not just stones. They were symbols of power, purity, and permanence. Kings and emperors sought them, poets wrote about them, and merchants risked everything to trade them. This long and unique history earned India the title of the Land of Diamonds, a cradle from which the world's fascination with these gems was really born and nurtured. The very idea of India conjures images of Maharajas adorned with spectacular jewels, their courts shimmering with unimaginable wealth. This deep connection to diamonds has given rise to many tales and legends. Among the most intriguing is the idea of diamond coins. Did Indian rulers, surrounded by such vast quantities of these precious stones, ever decide to mint them into currency? The question is a fascinating one. It imagines a currency of unparalleled value and beauty, a coin that could hold a fortune in the palm of your hand. Did merchants in ancient bazaars exchange goods for coins studded with diamonds? Was there ever a time in India's rich monetary history when diamonds moved from the royal treasury into the common marketplace as a form of exchange? This essay will explore this captivating question, journeying through the ages to separate historical fact from popular myth. We will travel back in time, exploring the great empires that rose and fell on the Indian subcontinent. We will look at their coinage, a tangible record of their economic life and their rulers' ambitions. We will examine what they used for money, from simple clay seals to intricately designed gold and silver coins. At the same time, we will trace the journey of the diamond, understanding its role in the culture and economy of each era. Was it a commodity, a royal emblem, or something else entirely? By placing these two histories, the history of coins and the history of diamonds, side by side, we can begin to uncover the truth behind the persistent myth of the Indian diamond coin. Our investigation will demand that we understand not just history, but also the practical nature of both money and diamonds. Why are certain materials chosen for currency while others are not? What makes a good coin, and what makes a diamond so uniquely valuable? The answer lies in a complex interplay of geology, economics, technology, and human psychology. By examining these factors, we can build a clear picture of why Indian rulers made the choices they did. This journey is not just about debunking a myth. It is about gaining a deeper appreciation for the sophisticated systems of wealth, power, and trade that have defined India for millennia, and understanding the true place of the diamond within this grand historical narrative. Our story begins in the mists of antiquity, in the sprawling cities of the Indus Valley civilization around 2500 BCE. These were sophisticated urban centers with well-planned streets, advanced drainage systems, and a thriving trade network. Archaeologists have unearthed a wealth of artifacts, including distinctive seals made of steatite, usually bearing animal motifs and an undeciphered script. These seals were likely used for administrative and commercial purposes, perhaps to mark ownership of goods. However, the concept of coinage as we know it, standardized metal discs issued by a state authority, did not yet exist. Their economy was likely based on a complex system of barter, with grain and other commodities serving as measures of value. While they traded in semi-precious stones like carnelian and lapis lazuli, diamonds are conspicuously absent from the archaeological record of this period. The first true coins in India appeared much later, around the 6th century BCE. These were the punch-marked coins, irregular pieces of silver stamped with various symbols like geometric shapes, animals, and plants. Each symbol might have represented a different authority, a merchant guild, or a local kingdom, known as a Mahajanapada. This was a revolutionary step in commerce, creating a standardized medium of exchange that facilitated trade across vast distances. When the Mauryan Empire rose to unify much of the subcontinent under rulers like Chandragupta and Ashoka, they inherited and systematized this practice. The Mauryan state issued a vast number of these punch-marked coins, asserting its economic control. Their currency was primarily silver and copper, materials that were durable, divisible, and available in sufficient quantities for widespread use. During this same period, diamonds were known, but they occupied a very different world. Ancient Indian texts like the Arthashastra, attributed to the Mauryan chief minister Chanakya, mention diamonds. However, they are discussed as precious gems, classified by their quality, color, and origin. The text treats them as items of immense value, suitable for the royal treasury, or as high-level diplomatic gifts. There is no mention of them being used in circulation or even being affixed to coins. Their rarity and the difficulty in cutting and shaping them with the technology of the time meant they were reserved for the highest echelons of society. Their value was too great and too variable to serve the practical needs of daily commerce. So, from the very beginning of Indian monetary history, a clear distinction was established. Metals like silver and copper were for the marketplace. They were the workhorses of the economy. They were meant to be handled, exchanged, and circulated widely among the general population. Diamonds, on the other hand, were for the palace. They were symbols of sovereignty, divine favor, and concentrated wealth. Their role was not to facilitate trade, but to signify power and prestige. This fundamental separation between the function of coins and the function of high-value gems was a practical choice that would define India's economic landscape for all the centuries that followed, setting a precedent that no subsequent ruler would break. The Gupta Empire, which flourished from the 4th to the 6th century CE, is often called India's Golden Age. This era witnessed extraordinary achievements in science, mathematics, art, and literature. It was also a period of great prosperity, reflected in the stunning quality of its coinage. The Guptas moved away from the simple punch-marked coins of the Mauryas and produced some of the most beautiful coins in ancient history. Struck primarily in gold, these coins featured exquisite portraits of the emperors, often depicting them as heroic figures, mighty archers, lion slayers, or horsemen. The reverse side typically showed deities like Lakshmi, the goddess of wealth, reinforcing the king's divine right to rule and his role as the guarantor of prosperity for his kingdom. The detail and artistry of Gupta gold coins, known as dinaras, are a testament to the advanced metallurgical and minting skills of the time. They were not just currency. They were pieces of propaganda, broadcasting the power and refinement of the Gupta dynasty across their empire and beyond. Silver and copper coins were also minted for smaller, everyday transactions, creating a sophisticated, multi-tiered monetary system. Yet, even in this age of unparalleled artistic expression and wealth, where gold flowed freely into the imperial mints, there is absolutely no evidence of diamonds being incorporated into coins. The Guptas, who clearly appreciated beauty and luxury, still adhered to the practical principles of currency. During the Gupta period, the knowledge and appreciation of diamonds continued to grow. The famous text, the Ratna Pariksha, or the Examination of Gems, was likely compiled around this time, providing detailed instructions on how to evaluate the quality of diamonds and other precious stones. This shows a highly developed science of gemology. Diamonds were treasured for their hardness and brilliance, and were an essential part of the royal regalia. They adorned the crowns, thrones, and personal jewelry of the emperors and the nobility. Their value was understood, but it was a value rooted in their rarity and symbolic meaning, not their utility as a medium of exchange. They were seen as permanent assets, a store of immense wealth for the royal family. The choice not to use diamonds in coinage was a logical one for the Gupta rulers. A coin's value needs to be standardized and easily recognizable. The value of a diamond, however, is based on its individual characteristics, its size, clarity, color, and cut, making each stone unique. Incorporating such a variable element into a standardized coin would have been an economic nightmare. How would a merchant evaluate a coin with a small, flawed diamond versus one with a larger, clearer stone? It would have defeated the very purpose of a coin, which is to simplify transactions, not complicate them. The Guptas understood this perfectly, keeping the world of commerce and the world of royal treasure distinctly separate. The arrival of the Delhi Sultanate in the 13th century marked a new chapter in Indian history and its monetary systems. The sultans brought with them artistic and administrative traditions from the Islamic world, which were reflected in their coinage. The coins of the sultanate were rich in calligraphy, typically featuring the ruler's name, his titles, and verses from the Quran, all rendered in elegant Arabic script. Images were generally avoided in keeping with Islamic tradition. The standard coin was the silver anka, which was later standardized by Sultan Iltutmish. Rulers like Alauddin Khilji and Muhammad bin Tughlaq implemented significant monetary reforms, creating a robust and uniform currency system that facilitated the vast trade of their powerful empire. Muhammad bin Tughlaq is famous for his controversial experiments with token currency in the 14th century, where he introduced brass and copper coins that were meant to have the same value as silver and gold ones. This experiment ultimately failed due to mass counterfeiting, highlighting the critical importance of using materials with intrinsic value or having extremely tight state control over minting. This historical episode serves as a powerful lesson in monetary policy. The material of a coin matters immensely. It reinforces why a substance like diamond, with its non-uniform value and susceptibility to being pried out or replaced, would be an exceptionally poor choice for circulating currency, a lesson the sultans understood well. During this period, India's reputation as the land of diamonds was stronger than ever. The Golconda mines were actively producing incredible stones, and the treasuries of the Delhi sultans were filled with them. When the Sultanate's armies raided the kingdoms of southern India, they brought back immense wealth, including legendary quantities of diamonds and other jewels. These gems were symbols of the Sultan's power and success. They were used to decorate thrones, ceremonial weapons, and courtly attire. They were a concentrated form of wealth, easy to transport and secure, but they were never integrated into the monetary system that powered the empire's markets and paid its soldiers. The separation between gems and currency remained absolute. The sultans, like the rulers before them, recognized the practical need for a durable, divisible, and standard currency for the masses. Gold and silver served this purpose perfectly. Diamonds, on the other hand, were part of the private treasury of the sovereign. They were used for diplomatic leverage, as gifts to secure loyalty, and as an ultimate reserve of wealth for the dynasty. Their role was strategic and political, not economic in the everyday sense. The idea of studding a silver tanka with a diamond would have seemed nonsensical to a sultanate mint master, as it would compromise the coin's integrity and create chaos in the marketplace. The Mughal Empire, founded by Babur in the 16th century, really represents the zenith of imperial splendor in India. The Mughals were, patrons of art, architecture, and luxury on a scale never seen before. Their wealth was legendary, and their fascination with precious stones, especially diamonds, was honestly quite profound. Emperors like Akbar, Jahangir, Shah Jahan, and Aurangzeb were true connoisseurs and collectors of gems. The imperial treasury, or Toshakhana, overflowed with diamonds of incredible size and quality, sourced from the famous mines of Golconda. These stones were not just decorations. They were, in fact, an obsession, meticulously catalogued, graded, and often inscribed with the names of their imperial owners. The monetary system of the Mughals was actually one of the most sophisticated in the world at the time. Emperor Akbar standardized the currency, issuing high-purity gold mohurs, silver rupees, and copper dams, with a fixed exchange rate between them. This uniform currency facilitated seamless trade across the vast expanse of the empire, from Kabul to Bengal. The Mughal rupee, in particular, became a dominant currency in Asia and was renowned for its reliability. The mints were tightly controlled, and the coins were beautifully crafted, bearing the emperor's name and the year of his reign. Interestingly, despite their immense love for diamonds, the Mughals never once attempted to issue a diamond-studded coin for public circulation. The use of diamonds in the Mughal court was all about display and the consolidation of power. The most famous example is, of course, the Peacock Throne, commissioned by Shah Jahan. This legendary throne was a masterpiece of Mughal craftsmanship, reportedly laden with so many gold and precious stones that it took 7 years to complete. It was said to have been adorned with some of the empire's most fabulous diamonds, including the Koh-i-Noor. This was the ultimate symbol of imperial authority, designed to awe and intimidate all who beheld it. Diamonds were also set into daggers, turban ornaments, known as sarpek, necklaces and armbands, worn by the emperor and his highest nobles. These were not items of commerce, but emblems of rank and favor. The reason for this continued separation is clear. For the Mughals, the value of a diamond lay in its uniqueness and magnificence. To break them into small, standardized pieces to embed in coins would have destroyed their primary value. A large, flawless diamond was a treasure beyond price, a gift fit for a king or a spoil of war that signified the fall of a dynasty. A tiny diamond chip in a silver coin would be a trivialization of its majestic status. The Mughals understood this distinction perfectly. Their coins were for the economy, their diamonds were for the throne. The two realms served different purposes and were governed by entirely different principles of value. The story of India's famous diamonds is, honestly, a story of power, conquest, and destiny, not of commerce. Perhaps the most legendary of all is the Koh-i-Noor, the Mountain of Light. This diamond has a long and storied history, passing through the hands of numerous rulers. It is believed to have been mined in the Golconda region, and was once part of the Mughal treasury. It sat proudly on Shah Jahan's peacock throne, before being plundered by the Persian invader, Nader Shah, in 1739. Its journey continued through Afghanistan and Punjab, before it was finally acquired by the British East India Company, and presented to Queen Victoria. At every stage of its history, the Koh-i-Noor was a symbol of supreme power, a spoil of war that signified the transfer of sovereignty. It was never a coin. Another magnificent Indian diamond is the Hope Diamond, famous for its rare deep blue color and its supposed curse. Originally a larger stone known as the Tavernier Blue, it was purchased in India by the French gem merchant Jean-Baptiste Tavernier in the 17th century and sold to King Louis XIV of France. Like the Koh-i-Noor, it was a royal jewel, a centerpiece of the French crown jewels before it was stolen during the French Revolution. Its story is one of royalty, mystery, and high-stakes trade among the elite. It was valued for its unique beauty and rarity, qualities that make it a priceless artifact, but entirely unsuitable for the standardized world of coinage. Its value is singular, not something that could be replicated across millions of currency units. The Darya-e-Noor, or Sea of Light, is another monumental diamond, now part of the Iranian crown jewels. This pale pink diamond is one of the largest cut diamonds in the world. Like the Koh-i-Noor, it was plundered from the Mughal treasury by Nader Shah and taken to Persia. It, too, served as a potent symbol of the wealth and power of the Persian monarchy. Other famous Indian gems, like the Orlov diamond in the Russian Diamond Fund and the Regent diamond in the Louvre, share similar histories. They were mined in India, acquired by royalty, and passed between dynasties as treasures of immense political and symbolic importance. Their stories are chapters in the history of empires, not the history of economics. These legendary stones powerfully illustrate why diamonds were never used for money. Their value is individual and immense. They are historical artifacts, each with a unique identity and story. A coin, by its very nature, must be anonymous and interchangeable. One silver rupee is the same as any other silver rupee of the same issue. But the Koh-i-Noor is not the same as the Hope Diamond. Their value cannot be averaged or standardized. To use them in commerce would be like trying to pay for groceries with the Mona Lisa. These great diamonds were the ultimate expression of royal wealth, held as treasures to be guarded, admired, and coveted, never to be spent in a market. The arrival and consolidation of British power in India, first through the East India Company, and then under the direct rule of the Crown, brought about significant changes. The British established a uniform currency across their territories, with the image of the British monarch replacing that of the Mughal Emperor. The silver rupee, standardized with the portrait of the king or queen, became the backbone of the colonial economy. This was a currency designed for empire, facilitating taxation, trade, and the payment of a vast colonial administration and army. The British mints in Calcutta, Bombay, and Madras produced millions of these coins with industrial efficiency, imposing a new monetary order on the subcontinent. During this period, many of the great historical diamonds, including the Koh-i-Noor, left India for Britain. However, a significant amount of wealth, including fabulous collections of gems, remained within the so-called princely states. These were the hundreds of kingdoms and principalities that were not directly ruled by the British, but were under their suzerainty. Rulers like the Nizam of Hyderabad, the Gaekwads of Baroda, and the Maharajas of Mysore and Jaipur maintained their courts and their lavish lifestyles. The Nizam of Hyderabad, for instance, was widely considered the richest man in the world. His fortune built on the historic wealth of the Golconda diamond trade. He possessed the Jacob diamond, a massive stone the size of an egg, which he famously used as a simple paperweight. The Maharajas of the princely states were famous for their spectacular displays of wealth, particularly their jewelry. They commissioned legendary pieces from European jewelers like Cartier and Van Cleef and Arpels, combining traditional Indian designs with modern European techniques. The Patiala necklace, made by Cartier for Maharaja Bhupinder Singh of Patiala, was an astonishing creation containing 2,930 diamonds, including the massive De Beers diamond as its centerpiece. These jewels were symbols of status and a way for the princes to assert their prestige in a world where their political power was limited by the British. They were the ultimate luxury goods, but they were not currency. For their daily economies, the princely states used either British Indian currency or their own state-issued coins, which were typically conventional issues of copper, silver, and gold. Even in this era of extravagant spending and intense competition among princes, the idea of a diamond coin for circulation never emerged. It would have been impractical and pointless. The value of their gems lay in their size, splendor, and the masterpieces of jewelry they could be set into. Chopping them up for coins would have been an act of destruction, not creation. The colonial and princely periods thus continued the long-standing Indian tradition. Coins were for the mundane work of the economy, while diamonds were for the magnificent theater of power and prestige. The form had changed from Mughal thrones to Cartier necklaces, but the fundamental principle remained exactly the same. In the modern era, after India gained independence in 1947, the country established its own sovereign currency, the Indian rupee, issued by the Reserve Bank of India. The design of the coins and banknotes reflects national symbols, such as the Ashoka lion capital. The currency system is designed for a modern economy of over 1 billion people, focusing on functionality, security against counterfeiting, and durability for widespread circulation. The materials used, stainless steel, cupro-nickel, and other alloys, are chosen for their cost-effectiveness and resilience in daily use. The idea of introducing a diamond into this system for everyday transactions is, from a practical standpoint, even more absurd today than it was in ancient times. However, the world of modern numismatics, or coin collecting, has introduced a new category, the collector coin. These are special limited edition coins issued by mints around the world, including India. They are not intended for general circulation. Instead, they are commemorative items, celebrating historical events, national figures, or cultural themes. These coins are often made of precious metals like gold or silver and are sold at a price much higher than their face value. Their value comes from their rarity, their artistic design, and the precious materials they contain. They are bought by collectors and investors, not spent at the grocery store. In recent years, some mints globally have begun to produce ultra-luxurious collector coins that incorporate small diamonds or other gems. These are niche products aimed at the high-end collector's market. For example, the Royal Canadian Mint and Australia's Perth Mint have issued gold coins embedded with small diamonds. These are marketed as exclusive works of art. The Government of India Mint has also issued many commemorative coins in silver and gold, but the concept of embedding a diamond is not a common practice. Even if such a coin were produced, it would be a non-circulating legal tender item, meaning it has a face value, but is not meant for the market. Its legal tender status is purely technical. This is the crucial distinction that solves the diamond coin mystery. The coins that may exist with diamonds today are not money in the way we use it daily. They are valuable objects that happen to be in the shape of a coin. Their purpose is entirely different from the coins in your pocket. A circulating coin's value is its face value, guaranteed by the government. A collector coin's value is determined by the collector's market and the price of its constituent materials. Therefore, while one might be able to buy a modern diamond-studded commemorative coin, this does not change the historical fact that India never produced a diamond coin for the purpose of public currency. After our long journey through the annals of Indian history, from the bustling cities of the Indus Valley to the modern digital economy, the verdict is clear and unambiguous. India, despite being the world's ancient cradle of diamonds and a land of legendary wealth, has never issued a diamond coin for general circulation. The idea of Maharajas minting currency studded with gems is a romantic and captivating myth, but it has no basis in historical or economic reality. The story of diamonds and the story of coins in India have always run on parallel tracks, touching only in the treasuries of kings and emperors, but never merging into a single object for public use. The reasons for this are eminently practical and have remained consistent across vastly different eras. First, the primary function of a coin is to be a standardized unit of value, easily recognizable and interchangeable. Diamonds are the exact opposite. Their value is highly individual, based on the unique characteristics of each stone. Second, coins must be durable enough to withstand constant handling. Diamonds are the hardest natural substance, but they can be chipped or shattered, and more importantly, they could be pried out of a coin, destroying its value and encouraging theft. Third, the cost of manufacturing such a coin would be astronomically high and inefficient, making it impossible to produce on a scale needed for a functioning economy. The true role of the diamond in Indian history was as a symbol of ultimate power, prestige, and concentrated wealth. Great diamonds like the Koh-i-Noor and the Hope diamond were not economic tools. They were political trophies. They adorned the thrones, crowns, and persons of the most powerful rulers on earth, serving as a physical manifestation of their glory and divine right to rule. Their value was in their magnificence and rarity, qualities that would have been destroyed by dicing them up to be placed in millions of tiny coins. The rulers of India, from the Mauryan emperors to the Mughal Shahs and the modern government, have always understood this fundamental distinction. In conclusion, the myth of the Indian diamond coin likely stems from a blending of two distinct truths: India's unparalleled history as a source of diamonds and its long and sophisticated history of coinage. It is easy to imagine these two elements combining, but the historical record shows they never did. The modern emergence of diamond-embedded collector's items does not change this historical fact, as these are not circulating currency, but high-value novelties for a niche market. The diamond's place in India was never in the commoner's purse. It was firmly set in the monarch's crown, a glittering symbol of a wealth too great and too sacred for everyday commerce.